Hi friends, host Eric here. I woke up mad. At the medical profession, medical doctors, and at everybody in the world who ever deals with me without first saying, okay, look Eric, you're obviously way smarter than me, so let me ask you to talk first. This appointment with the neurologist yesterday, very unhappy in retrospect. Very unhappy. In short, he charged us $250 to come back Monday and pay another $250. Tell Rachel to take vitamins. Like somebody said in a fucking stream last night, vitamins work great when accompanied with really powerful prayer. It's another fucking doctor with a little pet theory who doesn't listen to Eric first. I tell him, now, the antecedent here is we smoked a bunch of DMT. He ignores that entirely. Fucking ENTJ doctor almost for sure. I'm gonna put my foot up his ass on Monday. Oh my god, is he gonna regret ever fucking with me? I am going to put him in his place. I'm going to shame his ass. I'm going to humiliate him. I'm going to make him understand what a fucking idiot he is. Doctors. They think they're smart. If they were smart, they would never have become doctors. It requires too much hoop jumping through. Smart people aren't willing to jump through hoops like that. The only doctor I have any respect for is Dr. Ingram. And the only reason why he deserves all my respect is because he spent so much time listening to me. Am I a better doctor than your doctor? For sure. Am I a better doctor than everybody's doctor? For sure. Am I a doctor? No! That's what's so fucked up about this. Well, I slept on it. I'm pissed. You know, that doctor charged $250 yesterday. For what? To inform us we really should have come down there to his office. Even though I asked his fucking lady if we needed to come down there, I'd be happy to come down there. She said we didn't need to. When I point this out to the doctor, he says, well, she's not a doctor. No, she's the lady you hired to tell people things that they need to know. Fucking idiot. So, anyway, that guy's getting my foot up his ass, for sure, on Monday. That neurologist. I'm just so done with medical professionals who don't think they need to fix the fucking problem in order to charge money to people. Who think their glorious presence is sufficient to justify their expense. And they're fucking pedantic telling us about shit that they don't even know about. You know how you know all doctors are morons? Every doctor seems convinced that every other doctor is a moron. Yeah, it's like we went to the nurse practitioner. She said, oh, it might be a B12 thing, might be an electrolyte thing. Then didn't test the B12. Yeah, he called it a vitamin deficiency. But the problem is, it's not. It's clearly not just that. And if you would have listened to me, I have a very good reasons to conclude that, right? Now, that might be a small part of it, but that's not the cause of this. Nitrous is not the cause of this, right? It's like, I'm so excited to get the thing just solved. I'm ready to jump at any solution. I'm tired of this being a problem, right? I can only tolerate problems for so long before they start to piss me off. They need to be solved. You know? One way or another. They need to be solved. That's it. I've invested all the time and emotion I have into this problem, and it needs to be solved now. We've now gone to 3 doctors, in addition to consulting a psychiatrist, and not one of them has done a goddamn motherfucking thing. Except confirm what I already knew. Fucking tards. And the thing is, it's the arrogance, right? The presumption that they know better than I know. Because I'm not a doctor. Even though I'm way smarter than they are. So it doesn't matter if I'm a doctor. Intelligence is way more important than anything else when it comes to figuring shit out, you know? That's what it's there for, to figure shit out. These retards. It takes them a long time to even realize that I'm way smarter than they are. If at all, if they ever do. Well, no, it doesn't. First of all, it's not going to fix the situation. If it were simply a B12 deficiency, then Rachel would have been better last night from having taken 3,000 micrograms of B12. I mean, that's as simple as it gets, right? Vitamins are bullshit the same way that diet is bullshit. You don't need... There's no way that we have a B12 deficiency also, because where do you get B12 from? Eating red meat. We eat nothing but red meat. Did he even ask about that? No. Because he's got his own little pet theory that he jumped on 5 seconds in with his NI tool, because he's an ENTJ. And what does he need more than anything else in the world, desperately, for me to go fucking shame and humiliate him on Monday, which I will do in full blast order. You can be assured of that. He will be hanging his head in shame by the time I'm done with that fuck. Dr. Moshi, you can suck my motherfucking dick. There's no way in hell you're going to get away with being like that. Not around me. NTJs do not get to pretend like they're smart around me. That's all there is to it. They don't get to pretend like that. ENTJs? Fuck no. 0 chance you get to pretend like you're smart. Yes, you're a neurologist. That's how we know you're stupid. You jump through all those fucking hoops. So I woke up pissed, you know? I woke up pissed because, you know, like last night, Rachel was in a bad place emotionally. Depressive, whatever. And I started getting frustrated with her because at this point it's like, okay, you're being too much of a problem, you know? Except she's not being a problem. The real culprits are doctors who have not fixed this and have not dealt with it. Because they're not accustomed to pay for service. I'm paying for a service. I want fucking results. Not, oh, my pet theory didn't turn out true, so go goodbye. Like the ER doctor who didn't even do a fucking MRI on her core like she's supposed to anytime somebody says they've got a loss of feeling in their groin, you know? And of course, the neurologist is angry at the emergency room doctor, angry at the nurse practitioner. So is the psychiatrist. Psychiatrist is the one who recommended this neurologist to us, but the neurologist is an ENTJ. The psychiatrist is either an INTP or an INFP. I think he's an INTP. And so the psychiatrist is smart, possibly even smarter than me. Months to recover from a B12 deficiency. Well, I mean, again, where does one get B12 from? Naturally. Skygear. Red meat. What do Rachel and I frequently have as our only course for meals? Red meat. So, we've got a serious problem with some line of reasoning here, don't we? We have a serious problem with some line of reasoning. You can't have it both ways. Either vegans are at risk for B12 deficiency because they don't eat enough meat, in which case we're not at risk for it because we eat plenty of red meat. Or, that's not where B12 comes from. You can't have it both ways. It's called being intelligent. Can deactivate it. Yeah, well, I'm sure that the doctors on the East Coast were just as convinced that Rachel's psychiatric problems were caused by marijuana addiction. And yet they were wrong and Eric was right. You know, it's like, I'll believe he's onto something when he fixes her. Otherwise, he's just full of shit. Maybe you might say, oh, that's an unreasonable expectation, Eric. No, it's not. No, it's not. He's got no reason to conclude this yet. He's got no labs concluded on. He sent us to go get labs yesterday. He said he called the place and they were going to be open, and we drove all the way up there and they were closed. So he's wasting my time and money for nothing. Wasting my energy. He made us wait a full hour after our appointment before he started it. And what intrinsic factor is that? What intrinsic factor is that, Strawberry? Tell it to me. These are the sort of things that doctors need to do. If they want to convince me that they have something correct, they need to win the argument. They need to provide me reasons. If they don't, they're just sucking their own shit. Well, this is the number one reason why I'm so angry at him, Skygear. Because yesterday we had a teleconference, which we set up with his helper lady. I specifically asked her, do we need to go down there so we can do some sort of physical test with her? I would be happy to drive her down there. She specifically said no. Then when the doctor tells us yesterday that, no, we definitely need to go down there so we can physically examine her, and I said, I asked your lady, and she said we don't, he simply said, well, she's not a doctor. No, she's the lady you hire to tell people whether they need to come down there or not. And at the very least, if she doesn't know, she can say, I don't know, rather than wasting $250 so that we can get nothing accomplished except be told to take some vitamins and go back down on Monday for another $250, right? This is the fucking problem. No accountability. It's his fucking lady. No accountability. Even if his theory is right, Skygear, he utterly failed. Why? He didn't convince me. He didn't give me adequate justifications. So as far as I'm concerned, he's a worthless piece of shit who needs my foot up his ass. ENTJs all need my foot up their ass because they all need to be taken down a bunch of notches because they're all so full of themselves. ENTJs, ESTJs, stay out of all jobs. Forever. You fucks. TE works backwards. That's another way of saying T is stupid. I agree. T is fucking stupid. It's the kind of stupidity that just makes me want to puke all over everything. And believe you me, boy does the world desperately need me to go around and shame these fuckers. Boy does it need me to do that. My priority is to fix it. That's why, we rushed the appointment ahead to Friday the 28th instead of into February when it was originally scheduled. And what happened? There's a lack of equivalent urgency on the other side, isn't there? Because instead of actually getting a doctor's appointment that was useful, I just got to waste $250. They will Monday morning. You can be sure of that. If there's one thing Eric's good at, it's yelling at people. I am very good at yelling at people. So you can be sure they're going to get my foot up their ass. Oh yeah. They're gonna feel the pain. TE works backwards. Thinking shouldn't work backwards. Right? I get it. TE's inferring shit randomly or whatever. My normal size 12, Tim. That's an excellent question. That's an excellent question, though. I greatly appreciate your excellent question. Just my normal size 12s. I'm not going to put on extra large shoes for the occasion. So, it's like I woke up at 3 in the morning fucking furious. As, sleeping caused me to process everything. Then I went back to bed for another couple of hours. And I got up at 5:30 again. Furious again. Well, Rachel needs to go back on her Prozac, but I'm concerned about telling her to go back on it right yet because I know for a very high degree of certainty that this has something to do with serotonin in addition to whatever else may be at play. The reason we can know this with a very high degree of certainty is the direct antecedent, which the neurologist heard me say and then immediately dismissed because he'd not heard of DMT before. It's like, you fucking tard. Listen. You've got a man in front of you who is way smarter than you. Instead of being so sure of yourself and your expertise, listen. What happens when things go wrong in the world? Very straightforward. From COVID to Trump to this doctor. What goes wrong when shit goes wrong in the world? What has happened? Almost every single fucking time. Because he's like, DMT? And then he typed something into his computer real quick. And then continued on with what he was saying. That's why. You know, despite the fact that this is a clear, immediate, direct antecedent to the symptoms, he just ignores it. Why? Because he's a doctor. He's an important doctor with MD after his name. Which means he's a fucking tard. As I've learned. The most retarded people in the world are all doctors, apparently. The things they think they can get away with. The way they treat people as though they're cars in the shop, ready to be diagnosed. You know? You're not going to plug a fucking code reader into my girlfriend and get an answer. You might get meaningful information from me or her, but not from your own head. But anyway, the point is this. Whenever shit is garbage in the world, it's for one reason exclusively. People didn't listen to me. That's when shit goes shitty. Why is COVID all shitty? People didn't listen to Eric. Why did police violence go on for so many years before anybody did or said anything? Because people didn't listen to Eric. Why did we get into the Patriot Act and the war in the Gulf? People didn't listen to Eric. Why am I poor? I didn't listen to Eric. Many occasions when I've known very clearly what to invest in and blah, 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 it doesn't matter, right? I didn't listen to Eric, and so I'm poor. All shitty shit in the world happens when people don't listen to Eric. And that's the truth of the matter. Everybody just listen to Eric all the time, the world would be perfect. So true. So motherfucking true. I agree with you, TJ O'Connell. MD stands for moronic dickhead. Moron with delusions. Delusions of godhood. It's like when I type somebody and I get them wrong, I feel really bad about it, you know? I do my very best to not get it wrong. I'm not always perfect, but at least I'm always asking other people questions. And I've met with people who've been typed by typologists who act like these medical doctors. Who ask them 3 questions and then lecture at them for 45 minutes. You know? And people are not happy with that, understandably. So, I mean, yeah, fixing the problem is my priority. That's why I'm so mad. This has been going on for a month. We've seen 3 doctors. We've been to the emergency room. We've seen the nurse practitioner or general doctor, practitioner doctor, who specifically said she needed to test for electrolytes and B12 and then didn't test for B12. Single most annoying typing I can recall. No. The annoying ones are like that ESFP lady the other day who was, what do you call her? The confronter tri-type. That was a little annoying from the outset because she had her arms crossed and was like super defensive from the get-go for no reason except she felt like I was putting her on the spot, even though that's what she's there for, you know? Or like Asha Deep, you know? That was an annoying typing, obviously. That's what I think about doctors. I hope you heard that. It came from my butt. I expressed all my words I have to say about doctors. Except for Dr. Ingram, whom I respect and feel very grateful to. Why did who let me upload what? Oh, why did that lady let me upload? By the end, I had smoothed her out. She was super defensive starting out, but I've done it a lot now, so I'm good at handling various kinds of people, you know. And I was super nice, and she eventually relaxed and opened up, and it was fine. So, was it a particularly annoying typing? No, but it could have been if I had been in a bad mood, you know? Like, the Asha Deep typing was annoying because that guy was antagonistic from the get-go and antagonistic after the fact. Sometimes ISTJs are annoying to type, but that's only after the fact, really, because then they come back at me with, I don't think I'm an ISTJ, and here's why, and just a bunch of reasons to prove they're an ISTJ. But, you know, I get that I'm susceptible to the same sort of critiques. I'm not perfect in my working with clients either, but I'm a lot better than any of these doctors who seem to think that when they arrive in the room, a hushed reverence should fall upon everybody while they work their magic. Your spell better work then, motherfucker. Then fine. Fine. If your spell works, fine. But if it doesn't, then you just bought yourself an ass full of Eric's foot. Because you were both not humble and wrong. That's not an acceptable combination. People say, well, Eric, you're not humble. You say that everything goes wrong in the world and people don't listen to you. I'm humble, though, actually. I'm extremely humble. Despite the reality of that statement, you know? I acknowledge that I need to constantly be bumped back onto the correct path by my own failures and being corrected from them. That I need to constantly be humbled. That the world will constantly humble me by sending me typings like that ESFJ lady that I got wrong that Amy got right, just to hammer in the fact that you're not special, Eric. You still have to do everything right if you're going to get somebody right. You know? So it's like, that shit gets hammered into me day after day after day after day. So, am I a braggart / arrogant / make incredibly conceited claims like I'm the smartest man on YouTube? Yes. Am I also the humblest man on YouTube? Yes, I am. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing that I can pull that off? I'm both the most arrogant and the humblest man on YouTube, and the smartest and the dumbest. I'm all of those things. It's amazing. I mean, on TE grounds, I definitely have to be the stupidest man on YouTube, right? I should be making a lot of money. And I'm poor as fuck. So, I mean, on some grounds, I am definitely the stupidest man on YouTube. And the smartest man on YouTube. And the most arrogant and the most humble. The most honestly humble in the sense that I'm the most ready to be corrected. You know? So, that's true. All of those things are true. I'm the stupidest, the smartest, the most arrogant, and the most humble. I'm all of those things concurrently. Thanks, Winston's mom. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I'm definitely the most ridiculous, right? I have to be the most ridiculous. Nobody else is saying ridiculous things like that as far as I can tell. You know, it's like, you find me somebody else on YouTube who claims to be the smartest, dumbest, most arrogant, and most humble on all of YouTube. And I'll be impressed. I have the best viewers, too. Oh, by far the best. Like, shit tons better than anybody else's. Totally. That's so true, Temple, where I am so glad you were here to remind me of that important fact. My viewers are so much wiser than everybody else's viewers. Why? Well, for one thing, they're watching me, not somebody else. That makes them right away extremely wise. They've got excellent taste in YouTube. Of course, you don't have a lot of competition at 6 in the morning. That helps. I'm sure if there was somebody better on, everybody but Boba Fett would go. Boba Fett I can count on. He'll be here. It doesn't matter if God himself is streaming. Boba Fett will be here. So, anywho, now I'm feeling a little bit better now that I've vented. I had to vent. I had feelings. I woke up with emotions, you see. And the emotions I had was anger. I was angry. I woke up angry. And when Eric wakes up angry, you know what that means. It's streaming time. Hello, Trouble. What a beauty kitty you are. Trouble's here. He wants some food too. Okay, buddy. I'll get you some food. Poor Trouble is still limping a bit. Bubbles. He's a good kitty, even though he's not really our kitty. No, I woke up on the angry side of the bed, which was the appropriate side of the bed to wake up on, given my ample justification for anger. You're a manual Kant? Do they have an automatic Kant? Yeah, well, that's also why I woke up angry at this doctor. Is it's not like, Rachel and we didn't exactly fight about money last night, but we had a serious conversation about it. It was frustrating. I don't like to fret about money. We're not super spendy, so we can get by generally just fine. And I hate the fact that well, she's not emotionally well right now, and she needs to take her Prozac again. But I'm hesitant to ask her to take it. She's very depressed, basically, and when she's depressed, sometimes she likes to shop as an activity, which is not like her normally. So the point is, who should I be mad at? I should be mad at that doctor for stealing $250 for no reason, right? It's like, if he's just going to need to see me in person on Monday, then his lady needed to tell me that when I asked. We would have been down there yesterday. I told her, we have no problem driving down there if there's a good reason to. If you think it's going to be, if it's just as good to, hey, that's a good point, CJ O'Connell. That is 4th slot SE. That totally is 4th slot SE in crisis. When you don't have a lot of physical capacity to go out walk around. That's totally 4th slot SE. Regardless, the issue isn't Rachel buying shit on Etsy or whatever. The issue is we need to get this fixed and solved, like now. And it should have taken one doctor's visit to do. That's what doctors are for. Fix the fucking problem. It shouldn't require a doctor's visit, an emergency room visit, another doctor's visit, only to plan a 4th doctor's visit with a 5th one coming up on the 4th. That's too many doctors and nothing happening. Well, she's depressed. It's like when she doesn't take her Prozac, but she just takes the Klonopin and the olanzapine, she gets depressed. It solves the bipolar mania, but it puts her into depression. When she also has the Prozac in the mix, then she's perfect. She's fine. So she needs the Prozac again now. It's been a full month since she's taken it. Now, the thing is, I predicted, and here's the crazy thing. Here's the worst fucking reality in the world I got for you. Is it wouldn't shock me if Rachel gets up this morning and most of her physical symptoms are gone. They seem to be going away quickly or the last couple of days. Note, this is something I predicted a long time ago would coincide with the depressive episode. So if, after that doctor visit yesterday, and her taking the B12, she wakes up today and she's fine, then what are we going to do? Narratively, right? Because the fact is, almost for sure, I was right the whole time, and yet this doctor is somehow going to get credit for telling her to take fucking vitamins. Yeah, it's a really good observation, CJ O'Connell. That's on the nose, right on the money. Right on the money. Cognitive function insight right there, everybody. I want you to look at what cognitive function insight looks like. That is right on the fucking money. Rachel, in emotional crisis, shops as an activity when she can't go out on a walk or anything, like she normally would, as an example of retreating to fourth slot SE. Well, I said to her last night, okay, Rachel, I think the problem here is you've begun shopping as an activity. And shopping should not be an activity, you know? It's like you go shop for something when you need something. That's why one looks to and you do it only when you really need it because you hate shopping. That's a proper relationship with shopping. I bought something on the internet the last month. I bought like one thing on the internet, which was a massager that I saw on TV commercial. Actually, watching a sports game, but it convinced me to go online and buy it because it looked like it was really gonna get the loaf here. You know, I've got a really tough loaf. This part of my shoulder, which I call the loaf, it's really like made out of concrete. Okay, like I sometimes will hit it with a hammer. So I got this high impact massager thing that I saw on the TV. It goes like boom, 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 boom. You know. I mean, I haven't even tried it yet though. It arrived like a week ago. I haven't tried it yet. That's 8 slot SE. Strawberry, I gotta say, that sounds like an ISFJ thing you're doing there. But I don't know if that's for sure or not. But I was with an ISFJ who liked to do that a lot. She'd go to the actual store and do that. She'd put stuff in her actual cart, walk around the store, take it out, put it back on the shelf. She'd get more stuff in her cart than she was going to get, and then she'd pare it down. That's a funny activity, huh? It's a strange one. I hate stuff. I hate physical objects. They're just always in the way and cluttering and being a problem, and it's like I only ever want to spend money on consumables, basically. I know, I feel for it too, Strawberry. The thing is, it's hard on me too, though. It's like, and I know that it's crazy for me to complain about it or whatever, given the fact that Rachel's the one suffering the actual symptoms. But when Rachel's suffering from the mental part of it, it's much different than when she's suffering from the physical part of it. So for a long time, she was just suffering these physical symptoms. And now she's suffering depression like symptoms, and that's much harder for me to deal with and much more stressful. So it's like, and also when problems persist for a certain amount of time, I start getting very frustrated because I'm expecting these things to go away. You know, like these problems need to be fixed. I am done fucking carrying around the weight of this thing, you know? So Armor's Pimp. That sounds very SE Polar right there. Well, Strawberry, there is absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. Did not mean to critique it at all. Everybody's got their ways of doing things, you know. And that's the problem, is when other people's ways of doing things run into my expectations. That's not Sruti Chandran. Is it? I'd be shocked if that was Sruti Chandran. Speaking of Sruti Chandran, where's Kang Krishna Sarmapagu? I'd like to see her again. Why? Just basically because she's got a funny name. And she's got a song that goes with her name. She's Kang Krishna Sarmapagu. Kang Krishna Sarmapagu. She puts poo on my shoe. Why do you do that, Kang Krishna Sarmapagu? Oh, Kang Krishna Sarmapagu. What a silly name you have. It's got 4 pieces to it. That's too many pieces for a name to have. And they're all crazy sounding Indian words. Kang Krishna Sarmapagu. What a hilarious name. Oh, you are an ISFJ, huh? What do you know? Yeah, I used to date an ISFJ. She did that. I'm gonna refill my coffee. Like, you gotta be some, like, bold parents to name your kid Kang Krishna Sarmapagu. you gotta really just be like, yeah, oh, my kid's name is Kang Krishna Sarmapagu. What? Some Southeast Asian and Pacific Island names are amazing, such as Ranga, Madhipa Sutra Jiwa, Krodisiga, Acre, Ashala, Mughal, Ikarnat, Akbar, Sahara, Pai Tariq, Zayad, Sayafuddin, Krutaz, Koshala Sura Talenta. That's one guy. His name's Cordo. He goes by his 5th name. He goes by a short version of his 5th name. Ranga Marhipa Sutra Jiva Korsega Akre Aksala Mughal. Does he even remember his own name? Why would they give him so many names? I mean, if you think about it, if that guy's parents had asked absolutely anyone, hey, do you think this is too many names for my kid? They would have said yes. Anybody would have said yes to that. question. 4 names is acceptable. It's one too many, but it's acceptable. I have 3 names. I'm sorry to hear about the death of your computer, Winston's mom. That would be very tragic for me to experience as well. Now what do I feel? Now I'm no longer feeling angry, but I'm not feeling happy either. What am I feeling? I might be feeling sad. Yeah, I'm feeling sad, I think. But yeah, think about that. Think about what happens if Rachel wakes up this morning and she's better. Which, I don't know, maybe I'm just eternally optimistic. But, for a long time I've predicted that her getting better physically would coincide with a depressive episode. So if she now wakes up this morning and is better, do we attribute it to B12? Maybe a little bit, but I don't think so. I think I was right the whole time. Regardless, what's of most urgency regarding this matter is that she's going to need to go back on her Prozac, because it asks too much of her and me for her to carry around this burden of depression. Are you inland or near the water? I'm near the mountains. I'm right up against the San Gabriel Mountains in Arcadia. And Arcadia, in fact, goes up into the mountains into Chantry Flat. There's a part of the mountains that's part of Arcadia called Chantry Flats. But I don't live that close to the mountains. I live further away from the mountains than some parts of Arcadia, Like, I am actually basically right where it gets flat before it starts going up like this. Then I'm on the flat part right before it starts going up. That's actually good SE Boba Fett, but it's understandable that you'd mistake it for something else. So that's the bottom line is I am emotionally burdened by Rachel's state of being. And I need to not experience emotions that are bad anymore. So we need to get her fixed. Because I can't tolerate carrying around all this worry and frustration and whatever, It's like, if she's mentally and emotionally well, it's fine. From my perspective, the physicalities don't bother me, especially. It's like, it's fairly minor. But my mom is an ISFJ. She is a wonderful lady. Absolutely wonderful. So I guess this morning when she gets up, I'm gonna recommend she takes her Prozac and we'll see how she's doing physically. But you can see my conundrum. It's like, if she is better this morning, then a lot of people are going to think, well, it's the B12. But I still think that's not, in fact, have anything to do with it. Or very little to do with it. You know, I suspect that it's what I've said all along and continues to be. But if I'm right, then her physical symptoms should go away today or tomorrow, because she's back to needing the serotonin, you know? She's finally back to needing her Prozac. That's the key thing. Yeah, they do. Well, like I've explained to Boba Fett, fairness is defined as I whine, you listen. I like that. I really like that definition of fairness. I'm sticking with that one from now on. I whine, you listen. It's fair because it makes me feel better. Thank God you're not an ENTJ, Winston's mom. ENTJs make me mad. They think they're all hot shit, but they're dumb. Prozac's an SSRI. So, well, thanks, Octavio Silva. I appreciate your F-iery. It's nice of you. Your F-iery is very fiery. Isn't that funny? That's a Winston's mom's joke. It's just frustrating. Who was at the Bryant Chambers game stream earlier? Not I. I was harumphing probably in my dreams. Yeah, it sucks ass. But, you know, the thing is, what I keep reminding myself is Rachel's mental state has been in gradual decline for probably about a week. And, my level of stress and worry and concern has increased accordingly. When Rachel's not mentally herself, I have to, like, watch out, like, keep an eye on her, kind of, in a weird way. And it's taxing. It's very emotionally taxing. And he's an ESTJ, right? I remember who he is. Well, did I type him as ENTJ? I think I typed him as ESTJ. Well, of course TE-DOMs reject typology eventually. It's too smart. You have to have some sort of truth or correctness function somewhere as an absolute value, you know? If you don't care about NI because it's instrumental, and you don't care really about TI because it's ignored, or you don't care enough about it or something, then typology is just going to seem like inadequately empirical. You're not going to get the absolute value of the NI truth of it, NI as an absolute value is pretty important, and not seventh. You know. When he goes on vacation, he's an ENTP, huh? I doubt it. I mean, I'm exactly the same way on vacation as I am all the rest of the time. You might call a loose cannon combined with a baby, combined with an eccentric professor, combined with like a mushy arty type, combined with a cat lover. That's Eric in a nutshell. I do love my cat a lot. I sure do love my cat. My cat's a very special lady. You guys have probably met my cat before. Oh, sure, I talk about my cat a lot. Oh, sure, I make a lot of videos of my cat. No, I don't think fourth is an absolute value. I think that fourth and third are both split. So it's like, what's an absolute value for your third is its natural half of the spectrum, and what's the natural value for your fourth is its natural half of the spectrum. What I mean by that specifically is, like, FE communicative is an absolute value to me, but FE experiential isn't. And SI experiential is an absolute value to me, but SI communicative isn't. But I think in general, the rule goes your odd numbers are absolute values and your even numbers are instrumental values. I think that there's that thing going on with the third and the fourth, and maybe with the seventh and eighth as well. I'm not sure, but I've got a busy day ahead of me. I've got an 8 a.m. typing, and I've got a 10 a.m. typing, and I've got a noon typing. And then depending on what happens with Rachel this morning, how she wakes up, etc. I may have to find a place that does labs on Saturday in the afternoon to get the B12 labs that he wants. Because if she's not better, if she's not like better physically, then we're gonna have to go down to the neurologist on Monday again. Is it draining to do so many typings close together like that? Not necessarily. It won't be today, I don't think. Uh, it depends on how fun they are, too. Depends on what type the people are and how interesting they are and how fun they are and stuff. But generally, I guess they give me energy more than they take it away. You know, your any polar types take a little bit more energy because they they don't give you much. You got to keep pulling it out of them. About half, maybe a little less than half, probably. Yeah, it's probably less than half. It's probably like 40%. If I were to type two ENTJs, those are fine. Those are quick typings. The reason those are fine is because it's always the opposite of my experience with the ENTJ doctor. ENTJs are very good at telling how good you are at what you're doing. And I'm very good at what I'm doing. And I'm doing a very good job of it. And they can tell. So it's not a problem. I don't have any problem with the ENTJs when I'm typing them. And I won't have a problem with this neurologist if he fixes Rachel. Although I will still have a problem with the way that shit went down, right? Like, when I specifically asked the lady, who's your lady, if there's a benefit to us going down there, we will drive down there. So just tell us, or if not, then we'll just do the teleconference. And then I hear on the teleconference, after the lady says, no, it's fine, just do the teleconference, I hear after that from the doctor that, oh no, we needed to come down there. And I say to him, but your lady said, I asked her specifically and she said, and he says, well, that's because she's not a doctor. That's not acceptable, right? That is not an acceptable answer. That's a completely unacceptable answer. She could have said, I don't know, and asked you, for fuck's sake. If I typed you as INFJ, OKN, then you're an INFJ. Unless I expressed uncertainty about it, in which case you might not be. Do you see, do you feel, do you hear, do you see, do you feel, do you hear the sound of my sighing? Do you see, do you feel, do you hear it? It's annoying to sigh. I hate sighing. I hate worrying and fretting and sighing. I'm done with emotions. I'm just done with them. That's it. No more. FI types, where's the off button? Can you guys tell me where the off button is for emotions? I'd like to turn mine off now. You guys know the secret, right? Where it is? Is it back here somewhere? I need to turn off my emotions, please. How do you do that? Oh no, I just turned up my emotions. Boo! Boo! Why did ENFJs get a rep of being manipulative? Well, because they're, super friendly and everything. As a deaf and blind person, you can't hear or see anything, although you have an antenna attached to your head which sends you images from Safari to give you an idea of what you're doing. Wow, that's impressive. It depends on the type of person. It's like I can ask that kind of question. If I think somebody's an ENTP, I could ask that. I could say, all right, let's play you try to type me for a bit. I want to see how you do it. Then they'd be happy to play that game. Other types not so happy, you know. My first typing this morning is named Mia. Says so on the calendar. So I guess what I'm going to do, we're all going to run Safari in our heads? Oh no. Why are we running an old Apple browser in our heads? Can't we have Chrome? So I'm going to go pretty soon, and what I'm going to do when I go pretty soon is I'm going to go get some fast food breakfast. Alta Vista. Let's do all of our searching at Alta Vista. No, nobody gave me instructions on how to turn up my emotions. I'm not gonna call a pizza at 7 in the morning, for fuck's sake. I've got a busy day of typing sessions ahead of me. Plus, when Rachel wakes up, we're gonna figure out that she can't go on in this depressive state indefinitely. She needs her Prozac. So I guess I'm stressed out about it. That's the best way to put it. I mean, the thing is, I've seen this before. This exact scenario where she's on olanzapine and Klonopin, but not Prozac. I've seen her enter this depressive state before, and I've seen it end like that with the addition of the Prozac. It's been a full month since she's taken it. I got these vitamins yesterday. Spent $34 on vitamins. B12 and Super B100. Right, but if I'm right about it being fundamentally a serotonin related issue, almond milk is pretty good. I like almond milk, and even though it's vegan, but I don't know if it's vegan or not. But what I really like is powdered creamer. I don't think powdered creamer would have any meat in it, but I suppose it might have dairy. I put a lot of powdered creamer in my coffee. I don't fuck around. I do not fuck around with the powdered creamer. I'm sad. I don't like being sad. Being sad makes me mad. You know, someone needs to pay for me being sad. I need to find somebody to make them pay. I don't know what MCTs are, but let me show you guys. Last time I went to buy powdered creamer, I bought 7 of these. I bought 7 of these. This is the value size. Okay, well, she's taking the B12. But the thing is, B12 deficiencies are associated with not eating enough meat. Now, if you were to follow the instructions on this silly thing, it says it has 500 servings in here. My ass, it has 500 servings. It's got more like 50 servings, you know. $500 servings. Oh, you're not a vegan? Yeah, well, whatever the thing is, I don't give a fuck. I just want it to be done. I'm tired of it, you know? I don't even care if that doctor gets to be right and it turns out to be B12, as long as it's quick and easy fix. And cheap. Look at your question above. Go up there. Let's say you like the taste of a meal and you want to justify why you like it. To what extent and in what way is that doable? Well, it's easy to describe why you found it good, you know. You could say it was creamy and warm and delicious. Or you could say I don't know. Now I feel sad again. The Brisbane Cricket Ground. I want to know that I don't have to worry about this anymore. Well, I don't like them. I don't like their failure to solve my problem in a prompt fashion. That's what I don't like. I'll tell you what NI means. NI means me spinning around in a circle and knocking everyone over with my slinging cock. That's what it means. That's what NI means. That's what I feel like doing right now. I feel like growing about 6 feet more cock and then just spinning around in a circle and knocking everybody over. What do you think about that? Who's getting knocked over? All of you guys. Eric, why are you knocking over all your friends with your penis? I'm in her corner 100%. And it bugs me a lot that, well, they're not satanic criminals, okay? Let's not go overboard here, Raphael. My point is that they're dumb, not that they're satanic criminals, okay? Of course they're dumb. How do you know medical doctors are dumb? Very simple. It's really hard to become a medical doctor. You have to jump through a lot of different hoops. Well, then I respect them. They solved my problem. I respect Dr. Ingram, but why did Dr. Ingram and I work together as a team to help Rachel? Because he listened to me for a long time. He listened to me and answered a bunch of my questions. That's why. And that's what doctors need to do. If they want to get it right, they need to listen to me and answer my questions. Because I don't know. I'm not saying I know the correct thing. I'm saying my questions will cause us to be correct. Because I know the right questions to ask based on your answers to things. See, Raphael's a man who knows how to go overboard. That's hilarious. It's good stuff, Legends Fall. Anyway, I want to throw a little tantrum, basically. I'm feeling very tantrumy. It didn't help that once again, fucking CVS texted me yesterday. What is my least favorite text? What is my least favorite text to get? We have placed a special order for your prescription. Keep it in stock, you fucks. You know, every month I go to get this drug. Every month you don't have it in stock. Keep it in stock. You fucks. That's my feedback on the comment card for CVS. Keep my drug in stock, you fucks. You know what they told me last time? When I told them to find me a CVS that does have it, they told me maybe I should go to Walgreens. I'm like, oh, no, you don't. Oh, no. You are not unloading me onto somebody else. You're going to actually solve this fucking problem or deal with me every fucking month. Go to Walgreens. Suck my Walgreens, motherfucker. Suck on my Walgreens isn't good. A good thing to say to somebody in general, I think. You know what, buddy? You suck on my Walgreens. Alright? No, she is very much not assertive. My big fear is as I get frustrated and need this problem to resolve, she's internalizing all that, you know? So now she's wondering if it's good for her to stay with me. She's in that depressive catastrophication phase, which I recognize is just that. You know, like, now I know not to take it seriously. I used to take it seriously. Like, what do you mean you're thinking about leaving me? Now I know she's just doing her crazy thing, right? And it's easy to fix with Prozac. So that's fine. Rachel and I are fine, and I want to stress that what makes me so angry is when I start taking some of my frustration out, or, you know, that well, it's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind the forced delay in general. Like, I sort of use the realities of the difficulties of getting it to manage my own consumption of it somewhat, but well, ESFJs have empty nest syndrome, even if you're not their child. So, you know, Rachel's an NI Dom, and she's naturally going to start to think about things in terms of sort of the overarching balance of her being a burden on me and so forth like that. But I'm an SI type, so I'm not that callous. And also FI is a SI's a it it replaces fi a lot, so it's like it matters a lot that I have continuity in my stories, and that we have a history together. It takes me a long time to get comfortable with a person, se wise and stuff, and so it's like she doesn't get that I'm not looking at things like that. When she's, I mean, she does, I think, normally, but when she's depressed, she doesn't, you know? I feel very, very sad. I feel very, very frustrated. I worry, I fret, I worry, I bet I'll worry more later on. I don't like feeling these emotions. I don't like having too many things on my mind this time. It's abundantly rhyming with shining. Oh yeah. I'm feeling so tantrumy right now, you know? Super tantrumy. Just made it up. Rachel's whole life was probably dealing with people who judge her and have all these false impressions of who she is. Yeah, I think that's true. You know? Okay, well, I better go get some McDonald's or something so that I have something to eat before my first typing session. And then, you know, I'll like open up the blinds and, the sun will come in a bit, and that'll make me feel a little bit more lively, I guess. You know, on some level, I'm just kind of waiting for Rachel to wake up and see how she is, and probably get her to take a Prozac. The one piece of information that I did hear from the neurologist that was somewhat reassuring yesterday was that at least he mentioned Guillain-Barré, and he said Such Little Goods is not a joke song. What the hell? It's not a joke. Alright. I'm gonna go. See you later.